Dragona's Dogma is a video game. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, I still have yet to defeat three big bosses, Dragon, Death, and True Daemon. So that's what I'll be covering and sharing what I learned along the way. I like the range classes the most since being able to attack from afar is not only safe but also super powerful as a lot of enemies have weak spots you can't quite hit without climbing. So then, the Dragon. When I first remembered this guy, I thought I'd have to go through the whole game until the hole opened up in the city. However, you can actually fight him from Carsatis. Okay, this is the car place, which you can access by interacting with the riftstone down the beach. The fight itself is not bad, it's almost the same as the last fight with the Dragon. However, here he has a lot of hearts spread across his body. It doesn't do a ton of damage hitting them, but neither does he, even on hard mode, so it could be worse. Here I was playing a fighter, but it was getting tough to hit the spots since they were higher up on the dragon and I forgot to get the climbing perk that makes it much easier. So yeah, I didn't think it out all that well. About 20 minutes in, he fled the battle, which really confused me. And at first, I thought it must have been because I didn't do enough damage. However, it's a raid boss, so you can just re-enter the Riftstone and pick up where you left off fighting him. This fight looks good. It plays like Final Dragons, of course, yet it looks oppressing. The purple and the brown really feel like I'm being pushed down or muffled. Anyways, when the dragon was close to death, there was a spot left on his wing that I couldn't quite reach, so I switched over to the Ranger vocation since I had a super powerful bow that I could use, and yeah, hitting that last spot was a very simple task with this bow. Amazing fight, I'll give it a Dragons out of Dogma. Alright, now for a Bitter Black Isle, eh? At the start of the DLC, I'm still in my Ranger class, though I want to see if I can Dragon Forge a Duke's outfit, so it's time to become a wizard. Wizards are insanely powerful, so this should be fun. The best way to Dragon Forge equipment is to fight the Dragon, so back to the Dragoons we go. My spells weren't much use here, as they really couldn't target its weak points, so I was stuck shooting tiny little orbs at its weak spots. I did, however, knock it out of the sky with a Guy Shell, which was really cool. I remember watching a magic music video on this game and I wanted to replicate that, and well, it's nice that I got to. I finished the fight and no Dragon Forge. That's rough. At first I was confused since I thought the Dragon was a 100% chance to Dragon Forge. However, on further research it appears the item must at least be upgraded once. Good to know for the future. So now we have some places to check out. First is Conqueror's Sanctuary. Here there is a Drake, which I also attempt to knock out of the sky. I think it works. He kind of just stops flying and doesn't fall down. Also, I learned why Dragon Wars insta-kill pawns. It's because dragons were once arisen and can also control them, which you later see from the undead, dragons that can possess pawns. Some cool lore that I didn't know about. The fight is finished with a pawn staggering a fireworm with ice steps, and then I charge a Guy Shell and just absolutely destroy it. Although still no Dragon Forge Duke robes, that's a shame. The next Dragoons is near the Ancient Quarry, another fire drake it seems, which gets knocked out the sky, then half its health is instantly gone after a pawn casts ice steps. That spell is just too OP for how fast it casts. Since it keeps interrupting me during my Guy Shell cast, I decide to just spam light attacks and blast it, which eventually works. The next Dragoons is a lightning one near Wimbluff Tower, which I didn't even get to kill since it flew off mid-battle and went across the ocean and started to play in the water. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to do in a situation like this besides be astonished and amazed. Back in Bitter Black Isle, I deal with the Gore Cyclops, which I get stuck on a ledge and spam Guy Shell. It's slow, but it does get the job done, even if it takes a couple minutes. Switching back to the Ranger class, I come across an Elder Ogre, which is resistant to all my attacks besides Deathly Arrow. Spamming this move it does good damage, although I want to avoid getting hit since it does two-shot me. There's also a Hammer guy here who is pretty weak to Tenfold Arrow, although once it was almost dead, the hanging corpses blocked some shots and I don't have enough stamina left to finish it off. Let it be known, the Hammer guys also command the dead, or so it would seem. In the next room, I come across Death, so I had no idea what to do here, besides use Tenfold Arrow, which didn't do horrible damage, yet it was pretty low. Death, of course, runs after a health bar is depleted, and I learn that the method to kill him is to use Blast Arrows. How fortunate I'm playing the best class for Blast Arrows. In the sewers beyond, an Ogre decides to invade, yet he is deathly weak to my arrows. So funny. Something funny here happens, though, and he sends me flying out of the sewers. Sucks, but at least I had 40 plus wake stones from all the dragons, which, if you don't know, drops 20 wake stones per kill. Beyond is the living armor, which is kind of a joke since As a ranger, the first 50% of its health is super free. So much damage. It feels good. As for the last part of its health, I make use of my sapphire daggers, which do decent damage, and it's pretty easy to avoid his attacks. Besides his double swipe, which still gets me. Having a wizard is always a must, since them being able to use the magic on enemies weak to magic is magically amazing, because watching big damage happen is cool, but also nice. Almost Damien time. First gotta get that wake stone. It's cool to give you a free one right before fighting him. Alright, so Damon. As a ranger, most of my attacks are low in damage besides Deathly Arrow, once again, which does considerable damage. Though getting off a fully charged one is tricky when you're constantly using it since, well, he wants to kill us, and we definitely don't want that. I remember having trouble with his nuke, so I stay near the doors, so when he does it, I can just use Deathly Arrow and shoot him right in the face for big damage and shoot him even more while he charges up. At least I think he's charging up. Not exactly sure what he is doing here, but I won't say no to more damage. I learned that to avoid his grab, go to his right and he'll miss. If you go straight or left, he'll just snatch you up, so make sure to go the right way. As for avoiding his dive, just jump a left and you'll go right over his arm. It looks really cool, and it shouldn't work, but it definitely does. So, extra shots in the face for this guy. He almost gets me killed with the Shattered Earth combo, but some curatives saved me. Honestly, a must-have for hard mode Damon. He hits really hard. Some deathly arrows later, and down goes the Arisen Demon. GG, we'll have a rematch later. Oh, not this shit again, dude. In Casardis, I buy more than a bundle of blast arrows for death itself. Although I didn't know it at the time, but I won't get to use them until after another daemon. In Dustmoon Tower, I come across a Drake that is really resistant to my arrows. Nothing seemed to damage it besides my deathly arrows, right to the heart, which, believe it or not, is hard to aim when he is flailing around. I tried some of my exploding arrows, which I do use before daemon apparently, which do a ton of damage. A shame they weigh so much though, and get used so fast by Tenfold Flurry. After I kill the Fire Drake, an undead dragon spawns who is much weaker and takes far more damage. Thank the Senshell. I love big numbers, and doing damage that massively moves the health bar feels really good. I finish it off with the Tenfold Flurry as it charges up a Blight nuke. My next encounter is with a Drake, and is a frosty one at that. This Drake, he thinks he's a chill Drake, but really, he's just not a chill Drake. In all serialness, he is weak to Encaded Shot, and takes massive damage from it. Ah yes, that power. It just feels so good. We get him knocked down, then I pop some mushrooms for the stamina and shotgun him down. It's as easy as that. Take notes for future use in 2026. Because in 2026, like, there's gonna be a dragon invasion, and it'd be useful. At least that's what I tell myself. Alright, then I get to deal with the worst enemy NPC in the game. Whatever these flied fucks are. I hate these guys. So they're weak to magic, and I have no great ability to damage them. I have Sapphire Daggers, sure, but the thing is with Sapphire Daggers that they have some magic damage, but they don't have a lot. So I don't really do a whole lot here, and because my pawns can't think for themselves, it doesn't know to use magic, even though it's literally a wizard. So this thing sucks, and it deserves to be thrown out. I get hit with a rock. Yeah, it was quite important, so I just wanted you to know that. Wow, Tenfold Flurry really destroys these guys. If only every boss was this easy, right? Next I fight the eyeball, which is super free due to my bow. It's astonishing what you can do with this thing. Literally just stand still and shoot at its eye. It's so simple and works well. Even when it blinds us, our healer will get rid of the effect. So it's just a really good plan, and I'm kind of a genius. Since we just fought a major boss, let's go fight another major boss. This one being the priest and its pet Drake. The Drake dies so fast. It's actually insane. Like, it's just not even close. A dead Drake is the best kind of Drake. As for the priest, well, he is weak to physical damage, and I have a bow with over 2,000 strength. It wasn't great for the priest, especially since he has to deal with Tenfold Flurry. Gotta love having a strong ranged weapon, because I certainly do. I get dragged by a flaming pitbull, and they spit on me with their flames. Fuck these things seriously. They can't burn because they're probably impervious to flames, but they can, like, freeze to death for all I care. Then I shoot down another priest. Don't worry, though. These are not gods and messengers. If anything, I'm the Holy Spirit. Death is lingering here, it seems. So I blast him with blast arrows till he runs away. One day I'll kill him. One day. Guapo. A gore cyclops. For him, I just stand at the top of the ledge and shoot at its head. Very simple if a little slow, but XP is XP. In the sewers, I shoot down another false one. That is their name now, by the way. Like, priest, lame name. The false one's better. Then two living armors want to jump me, so spam the surging light tomes, which deal with them really well. If only I had an infinite supply of them. One can dream. The weighted daemon is now full of a bunch of bosses. Many living armors now block the way, who I totally enjoy fighting. After the living armors, I just run past the rest, since I'm here for Daemon, not the others. First phase of Daemon is the same, however, now there is a whole new health bar, to which I fight valiantly, but I then lose to his nuke, it seems. I was just too slow here. So, needing a new strategy, I run to the end of his arena and get him stuck on some rubble at the back so I can spam Deathly Arrow. Most of his attacks can't even hit me, so I can just spam it in peace. Although I am greedy and I get hit with fire. To be honest, I deserved it. Spamming isn't a great idea most of the time. He tries to do his nuke again, but that's just a massive opening for me, which I take advantage of, and getting some huge damage in, almost finishing the fight. With a sliver of health left, he knocks me back with a swipe, but then I finish it with a Deathly Arrow right as he uses his fire spell. Not a bad fight at all. I don't like it as much compared to some of the Dragons fight, but it's alright. So now all that's left is Death and getting level 200. I meet Death in the first area, and it gets some massive damage in with blast arrows before you can run away. To which I look up how to keep him from doing that shit, because fuck, that's so annoying. You can't prevent him from doing it, but you can lure him back by saving the game and then using God's Bane on yourself to become the opposite of alive. Then you place a rancid bait meat, but he will not spawn just yet, so what we have to do is we have to run to Duskmoon Tower and then run back, and here he is. So just blast him, to which I could see him flop on the floor and then run away again. So I do the whole operation again and blast him again until he dies. And just like that, Death was killed. Much easier than Daemon, I will say. And it's, yeah, using the most creative method possible. Blast arrows. So creative, huh? With Death dead, all that's left now is getting level 200. Switching to the insanely powerful Magic Archer. I shoot a living armor, which, wow, okay, that damage is absurd. Yeah, this class is just overpowered. The normal arrows do decent damage, so I just spam that the whole fight. And it works, even though it is a little slow. Cool, 700,000 XP though. I killed Daemon again, now level 195. Almost there, getting so close. Then I play with the Storm Drake. We had a lot of fun here, many enjoyable memories were made. I shoot all 3 hammer guys from a distance while they approach me. I can kill them before they reach me. It's just simply that easy, and just such free XP. Then I decide to switch back to a ranger to finish it all. Gotta return to my roots. So what NPC will get us 200? Will it be Daemon again? The Dragon? Maybe a Drake? Or a Gore Cyclops? None. Just a big, giant Cyclops is all it took. Sir Cyclopolis, 'twas you who got me the max level, so I shall remember thee. Anyways, yeah, level 200. That's pretty cool. I always wanted to play this game more, and it was fun coming back to play it. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. Laters. Until next time. Cheers.